What's up, beautiful people? Jen here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jenna Lee, the internet's girl next door, aka Jen Sparkly, commander of the Sparkle Army. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel and hanging out in my little corner of the internet. I hope you'll stay. I promise, I'm a ton of fun. So, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell too. Today we are doing a Q&A. Oh, speaking of things that rhyme with A, there's Ray Ray, my son. Say hello to the internet, Ray Ray. We are going to do a Q&A. I like to do these every so often just because, God bless y'all, my channel continues to grow and we're constantly getting new subscribers. Welcome to the Sparkle Army for all of you who are new. I am so happy y'all decided to subscribe, and I hope you enjoy hanging out with me, because I enjoy hanging out with y'all. So, every so often we do a Q&A, and here we go with the questions from this round. First up, Ready to Glare asked, and in case y'all haven't noticed, Ready to Glare is kind enough to submit a question every time I do a Q&A. You guys really need to check out her YouTube channel. She is smart, funny, beautiful, witty, incisive. She's a goddess. So if you're not following Ready to Glare, jump on that ish for reals. Now, she asks, what do you do when you're having a bad day? Is there something that always comforts you, even a little bit? And it's funny that she asks that, because for the last couple of weeks I've not been in the best of spirits, and part of it is because of someone else, and part of it is because I'm mad at myself for letting someone get to me like that. Anyway, when I get sad, a lot of times I write, just obsessively, just whatever's in my brain. If it's a poem, I write it. Sometimes I will just do like random word associations. Sometimes I will brainstorm out character ideas for stories I want to write. Sometimes I have this book where I sketch out my favorite song lyrics and paint and decorate them in fancy lettering. And sometimes I do that. I'll just work with lyrics that I relate to, especially at that point in time, and do those. I've been thinking about starting an Instagram for those, just because it's a fun little hobby of mine. It's a cool thing I like to do. Maybe I'll do that. What do you think, Ray Ray? And I mean, honestly, when I'm really down, this little guy won't allow it. Every single time I cry, as soon as there are tears, this little booger licks my face and I start giggling like a goober. You don't have no collar on. You is naked. You don't have no collar on. You is naked. Ray's naked, y'all. Cover up. Demonetized. Next up, the Loyalist Bronco fan, also known as 40 is Lit on here. My sister from another mister. Definitely follow 40 is Lit on here. She is beautiful, smart, amazing, a makeup guru, one of the most kind-hearted people I've ever met. Seriously, that is my sister from another mister. Follow 40 is Lit. She asked, how did you first fall in love with makeup? Okay, this has actually been kind of a running joke, or it was a running joke with me and my mom for a long time, because my mom was a dyed-in-the-cloth, sweet hippie girl. Didn't care to wear makeup, didn't need it. Had beautiful, beautiful skin with cute freckles right across the bridge of her nose. Just a beautiful, beautiful woman. And she just didn't really care for makeup. It didn't appeal to her. However, her mother, and my grandmother, of course, was a makeup fanatic. Some of my earliest memories are of being in Granny's bathroom. And I remember she had this massive glass shelf with just hundreds and hundreds of perfume bottles. And I would just spend so long in there sniffing each one. And opening up her drawer, and she would have a drawer that was just lipsticks, and a drawer that was just powders and a drawer that was just moisturizers. And I just remember being so fascinated. And I remember the first time I snuck and tried to put on some of her lipstick. Of course, I had no understanding of what color would look good on me. I was like 3, and it was like this color pink, and I kept trying to really color it in thick on the corners of my mouth. So I was like, it was a mess. It was a mess. But yeah, my grandmother on my mom's side is definitely who got me into makeup. The older I got, she would be excited. Like when I finally was old enough to wear makeup, like every summer she'd say, I got a care package for you, Jenna. And there would always be lipsticks and eyeliners. And she's the one who taught me how to properly apply mascara. And she's the one who taught me about concealer. And before contouring was a thing, she explained to me the idea of using different color foundations. Granny had it all figured out. So yeah, Midnight Skull asks, what is the most scared you've ever been? Now I talked about this in a live stream recently, but I felt like it was a good question, and I feel like maybe somebody can get something out of this answer. So, the most scared I've ever been, I didn't even have to think twice about it, like the answer popped right into my head. When I was 19, I had gotten out of school and was on my way to, I was on my way to work, and I had worn like a little sundress to school. I remember now, it was a little black sundress that had these purple flowers on it. That will factor in, bear with me. I drove a 1989 Ford Festiva. If you know what those are, you're groaning and laughing at the same time. This car, naturally, being that it was old and not one of those they kept around very long, broke down again. I'm on the side of the road, and you know, this is like 2001. Cell phones had not taken over the world as of yet. So I don't have a cell phone. And so I'm having to walk to the nearest gas station to get some water because my car had overheated. Guy pulls over, offers to help. You're not supposed to talk to strangers, but what do you do in that situation? You're stranded, you're miles away from a gas station. This guy offers to help. I walk back to my car, and the last thing I remember seeing of him, I unlocked my car door, and I remember feeling the barrel of the gun touch me, like right here, like right on my neck. And I just remember him saying, bend over, don't make a fucking noise or I'll blow your brains out. And I remember right there in broad daylight, door to my car wide open, and he shoves me down, bends me over in the driver's seat of my car. And I remember staring at like my emergency brake. I had this little stuffed flower that my boyfriend at the time had gotten me. It was like this long stem that had wire in it, so it was posable, and I had taken it and wrapped it around my emergency brake so the little flower would be sticking up next to me while I was driving. And I just remember like leaning forward, and like it was right in my face, and I could smell his cologne on it, and feeling that, and then feeling the guy's gun in the back of my neck while he did what he did. It was just a weird juxtaposition, you know, and all I kept thinking was, God, just hurry up, just finish, just please finish. And that fear, not only of him just deciding maybe he doesn't care enough to spare me and he just shoots me after he does that, or little crappy junk guns have such hair triggers, who's to say that it wouldn't go off anyway. Either way, that's the most terrified I've ever been in my entire life. And I don't wish that on anyone ever. Next question. Jameson Sky asks, you are so comfortable with who you are. Where do you get your confidence from? First of all, thank you for thinking I'm confident. Honestly, and this is gonna sound like a cop-out, and I don't mean for it to, but a lot of my comfort with myself and loving myself has truly just come with age. There are still more things that I would change about myself. I just don't like to talk about them. There's a lot of things I don't like about myself. There's a lot, and I feel like even though I'm not a famous YouTuber, you know, we've seen with the Shane Dawson special he did with Bunny, just talking about how depressed she was and her anxiety, and just the reaction that got. Literally every famous YouTuber chimed in with, I get it. Me too. I feel that. I know what you mean. It's very easy to get on here and to present not just only a side of you, but to present a you that you wish you were, or a you that you want the world to see. Now with me, what you see is what you get. I've accepted that I'm clumsy and I'm dorky and I'm goofy, but at the same time, y'all don't see the depression where I can't get out of bed, and you don't see the 30 minutes after I get out of the shower staring at myself in the mirror, crying and wishing I'd look different. You don't see, you don't see the human side, or the hurting side. Like, I'm normal, I'm human, I'm just like y'all. There are things that I don't like about myself. There are things that I wish like hell I could change. But the older I get, the more I realize that I have to embrace what makes me different. I know that sounds cliche, but I have to embrace that because that's who I am. It's part of my charm. I'm not the typical, notice me, sexy talk, please, God, just validate me type of girl. I've never been that girl, and I swear on everything I love, I would never want to be that girl. At the same time, I'm not the, I'm a gamer, I don't, girls that show cleavage are so awful. Like, I fall in a weird category. I've always said there's these two halves that make up Jenna, and you've got the nerdy, awkward, introverted girl next door half, and then you've got the hypersexual, hypersensual, bisexual party girl, and they just fight for control constantly. But yeah, I went off on a tangent there, but yeah. Point of the matter is, like, I appreciate it, and I am confident, and I do love myself, but don't ever think that there aren't things that I would change. Because, yeah, I could make a whole other video just on things that I'd like to change. Next up, Michael W2. Okay. Besides looks, what 3 things do you look for in a significant other? Okay. Besides looks, okay. Sense of humor. You have got to be able to genuinely make me laugh, because laughter is important. A sense of humor is indicative of intelligence and quick wit. So intelligence and sense of humor are absolute no-brainers. Those, the other, and third, honesty. Honesty. Don't lie to me. Don't manipulate me. Don't think I'm gonna fall for it. Like, just because I don't say anything doesn't mean I don't know what you're doing. A lot of guys seem to think that just because we're giving you some of our attention, that we're gonna believe whatever you tell us. And bless your heart, you couldn't be further from the truth. That just ain't how it works. But yes, sense of humor, intelligence, honesty. Absolute necessities. I've always said that really my only rules in a relationship are respect me and don't lie to me. You'd be amazed how hard it is for so many guys to maintain that. You'd be amazed how many people can't do it. It's a damn shame. Michaela Layla, that's a cool name. Michaela Layla says, give us the TLDR of your last relationship. Okay. We worked together. I was in a relationship. He was in a relationship. We were actually giving each other relationship advice. Figured out that we looked at relationships very much the same way. There was a period of time where it was, do we have something here? I can't tell if we have something here. As it turned out, we had something here. And it ended up going for 2 years. And he treated me like a queen. He respected me. He was honest. He made me laugh. He treated me better than any man has ever treated me in my life. And because I felt unworthy, I made excuses. And I walked away. TLDR, I had everything, and I blew it. Last question. Galena Surreal, what is something we'd be surprised to know about you? I'm scared of the dark. Yeah, I don't know why, but I am. I can't stand it. I have to have a night light, a lamp. There has to be something on that gives off light. I have learned though, like, if I'm seeing a guy, if I can fall asleep next to you with no worries, like if I can actually doze off next to you, that means I trust you. And I could probably spend a night next to you without a nightlight, without freaking out. That's very rare. That happened with my last boyfriend. Like, my ex-fiance, like, I dozed off, like, in his lap one night, which is like, that's a sign. That's a sign. It's a sign that I'm an idiot. Guys, that's it for this go-round. That got really dark, but you gotta be dark sometimes. Otherwise, you're not being real. And I always want to be real with y'all. I always want to be honest with y'all. I don't want to ever put on a dog and pony show. What you see is what you get with me. I'm open and honest with y'all because I love y'all. And I respect y'all. And I appreciate y'all. So, thank you for submitting your questions. I'll be going live here in a couple hours. So, I expect to see y'all. I'm saying that like this video isn't going up on a Thursday. Retroactively, I went live. Anyway, all of my social media is going to be in the description box as always. If you love me and you got a few extra bucks, think about becoming a patron and supporting this channel for as low as $1 a month. You can get a promotion in the Sparkle Army. If you're not down for that, totally fine. Think about doing a one-time donation via PayPal. That information is in the description box as well. And all of my coupon codes. Take a look. Treat yourself on me. Until next time, I love y'all more than I know how. Y'all stay beautiful.